comically made when we're talking about millennials. I'm going to take your job, or they're afraid I'm going to take your job. It's a very common philosophy, not common thought. But you got to think about it. I, as a manager, I cannot improve myself, I cannot grow, and I cannot go to the next level unless you're ready to go to the next level as well. Because guess what? They like me in my position. If they can't promote me if someone can't fill my shoes. So it's my job, and I tell this to every person that ever worked for me, my job is to train you to take my job one day. Now some people think, wow, that's kind of risky because a lot of people are always threatened by that. Good managers, good people don't think that way. They want to promote their people, they want their people to rise. Because as they rise, and selfishly, as a manager, you can rise as well. So I think it's just a different outlook at how people look at that. And finally, just praise in public and in writing and critique in person. Because I've seen so many emails where someone will say, okay, this is what you did wrong, blah, blah, blah. But you don't know in an email what kind of, how they're talking, their body language. You don't know if they're trying to be mean, if they come across in a mean way, but you didn't intend that. So always have those conversations in person. And then when you praise someone, you want to do it in writing, and you want to copy people, but you also want to do it in a public form as well. We all like to be recognized in a positive way. And when it's in writing, there's no other way to take it. It's always positive. When you're getting critiqued, you can always be kind of questioned whether or not what you're telling me is good, bad, or indifferent. So I think that's all I have, for that. Hopefully, like I said, you've taken a couple things out of this. Like I said, even if you don't learn anything about the branding part or the licensing part, some of the career advice there, take that to heart, at least think about it. I may not be right on everything, but it's just an experience that I've had over the years. So with that, I'll be more happy to answer any questions.
I don't know if you talk about business part, but so where do you work? Like you work?
Okay, so I work with, the company I work for now is Boxercraft Inc. So we're an apparel licensee company, so we manufacture, like I said, the flannel bottoms. And it's kind of funny, our company, we talk about licensing, but licensing is only 20% of our business. The other 80% is selling blanks of our merchandise to certain retailers.
And is that in Georgia or?
It's in Mapleton. Yeah, it's in Georgia. Yeah, so it's about like 45 minutes from this kind of drive over. So. And this is a bit, like I said earlier, we're all sport management people here. But hopefully this kind of illustrates that it's not always about working, collegiate staff, athletic department. It's not always working with some kind of pro team. But there's all kinds of marketing groups that are out there. There's a girl that I know that works with a group in Atlanta that they go and they set up all the game day stuff. So when you see game day on Saturdays, they're all the behind the scene things that a lot of people don't see. A lot of marketing companies like UPS, Coca-Cola, they're all looking to get into that collegiate space. So they need marketing campaigns and people to work on some of that stuff. So there's a lot of things behind the scenes. Just like the, after the national championship, you see those guys always have their t-shirts and their hats on, or over their shoulder pads, or whatever the case may be. That was our job. We hand out those t-shirts to those players on the field. Okay,
so it's a close game. How do you guys get it shut so quick to the winning team?
Yeah, so everything's already pre-made. So we make things for both teams. And so if it's a close game, and this has happened several times, usually it's about 2 or 3 of us that are on this, we'll take product to both sidelines. We'll get behind both sidelines. And the coaches hate this because it's going to jinx them, right? They don't want the stuff out there.
Yeah.
They drive them nuts. So we have to get with the equipment manager, we have to strategize on how we're doing. But yeah, we'll take boxes of both sides product. And 2 of us will be on this sideline, the other 2 will be on this sideline, and whoever wins, obviously, we have it covered. Now, there was one instance where I was the only person there. It was for a 1AA national championship game in Chattanooga. And I was the only person there. And so I was literally running back and forth between both sidelines. One team was scoring, then go to the side. One team was scoring, then go to the side. So it can be tricky at times. And then the ultimate question is what happens with the old stuff sometimes. And as we send it over, it'll usually go to overseas, some kind of charity for the most part. It's like we had a person that was in Africa about 3 years ago, and they saw a Southern Cal national championship shirt from the year that Texas actually won it. So it was kind of funny for her to see, be walking around and seeing a national championship that never happened.
You said you were the director of partner services. Where?
At a collegiate licensing company, or CLC. And that's the group that the guys will be here next week, I think, talking about licensing. That's the same company. Do I know?
Yeah, internship.
It's funny you asked that because I actually asked our HR person, and I did it late in the ballgame. I just asked her the other day. I haven't heard back from her yet, but there will be eventually. Usually this is the busy time of year. We're about to get into our slow time of the year. We'll probably ramp it back up in the spring and summertime, but there'll probably be some potential there. Yeah. But not right now. I mean, right now we have the interns that we have. So fall's really our busy time of the year.
Because, I don't know if it relates to you guys, know, like a big name player, like NCAA violation, you guys deal with that too, like this, like their name and.
Yeah, I think when I was on the CLC side of things, we have a legal staff that has to work in conjunction with the universities and their compliance departments. You know, that's the big thing right now. Universities are struggling with is the early thing that's come up here recently of selling the number 3 jersey. Now, it may not have his name on it, but it does have, you can say his number, exactly right. And so universities really struggle with that, whether or not they want to sell certain numbers of jerseys. Like Texas A&M, for example, they'll sell the number 12 jersey consistently. They don't like to sell any other numbers. The reason why they justify 12 is the 12th man. So a lot of times you'll see schools sell a 1 the year, so it's 14, or the year that the university was founded, 89, something like that. So a lot of times schools are starting more and more, especially with all the lawsuits that have been going on with the Edo ban and the video games. They've been really pressing to kind of get away from that association with the players. It's really weird though that there's a little bit of a loophole. I don't know if it's still there or not, but there's a little bit of a loophole in that you could go to Dick's Sporting Goods and buy a girly jersey, but you could go to the athletic shop or the bookstore if the university really wanted to. You could buy one there because it's a weird loophole where it's a university-owned entity, then you could sell things like that. Now, a lot of schools choose not to do it because they think it's problematic, obviously. But there is a little bit of a loophole. Because I remember when Kansas won their basketball national championships, they were actually selling a shirt that had the numbers on it and it had the athletes' names on it as well. But a lot of people don't choose to do that, though. Yeah. Anything else? Did that depress you? Did I make you feel like it's going to be a lot harder than give you doubts? Oh, God. Cool. Well, thanks. Appreciate it. You guys asked questions. That was good. What I asked you to do, ask questions. So that's good to do that. But appreciate the attention and good luck. And there's my email address up there. So if you have any follow-up questions or anything like that, feel free to shoot me a note. I'd be more than happy to answer. Awesome.
Ryan, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, that's it for tonight. Reflection papers, anything else that's outstanding, interviews if you need to be doing them, job shadowing sheets.
Those on court.
And,
Huh?
yes, it's in the job shadowing sheet. Thank you very much.
This mission statement.
Yeah. Good luck with everything.
See you later.
Hello. Stephanie.
Stephanie, how you doing?
So you went to the University of Tennessee in Knoxville?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, UTC. You're going for athletic training, is that the goal? Oh, that's what's going to happen. I like it. Man, look at this. Man,
That's what's gonna happen. That's just it.
what's your ultimate